Hello, Risk of Rogue here. Today we're gonna analyze the trailer of Risk of Rain 2 Seeker of the Storm for the Seeker Survivor that has been revealed a few days ago. Let's start immediately. From pretty much this, that looks like a new map. Like it somewhat looks like one of the first stages, but at the same time, the colors are completely different and that boss and those enemies usually do not spawn there. So I think this is already the first part that's interesting in it. And now that we can see a bit the map more, with some rotation around it and whatever, we notice even better that this is absolutely not one of the usual maps. It looks like an arena, or at least part of an arena, and now we can see the whole map. It's a new map, obviously. Not one of those we are used, and that circular ball is the Seeker. Looks cool, but I'm not really convinced about the gameplay. Now we'll see why. There's a few interesting skills. First of all, the main attack is Spirit Punch. It has a limited range, as we can see. And it's like something similar to the Artificer Fireballs or something. Like it's ranged, but not really, but it stops after a while. But I don't think it should have any kind of like recharging cooldown as the Artificer. So this one I like it. It's like medium range for now. I like it. Then we have the first skill, Mouse 2, which is Unseen Hand, which is really cool, honestly, but I don't really think it fits inside the Risk of Rain game, especially the second one, because something that you have to slow down and aim for that comes up from the ground, it's not that good. It's not that good at all. If it was something like, I don't know, a random thunder or something that appears on the sky in a position we place instantly, would be better. But these things feels slower than our Huntress ultimate, so I don't really like it. As much as it looks actually cool. Subscribe for more news, gameplays, mods, and guides about Risk of Rain 2 and other roguelikes. The utility looks like garbage to me. Like, you have to dash and then impact enemies, and you take damage when you're doing this sort of like flight, dash, whatever we want to call it, because they said you take damage for it. But for it to be useful, you have to like lay in front of enemies with a kit that's medium range. Why would I, as a survivor that's not melee, want to get in range with enemies? I have no clue. I really don't want that. Even Acrid literally has abilities to not stay melee, even if it's a melee survivor. So I really don't get why they gave this random utility instead of some, I don't know, Eat Seeker missiles or something. I know we already have them in another survivor, but still. I think it would have been something way better than this fly, dash, whatever it is, that really, I don't think makes sense with the kit of the survivor. It feels like it's more just to fit the name, or maybe the ability where they started at, and then everything else is different. And then we have the R, which is this like random minigame where you have to press buttons to meditate, and if you do everything correctly, it like explodes, it feels like, and deals a decent chunk of damage. Again, cool, but why? Risk of Rain, it's a game where speed is the focus, and we literally try to go as fast as possible while staying far away from enemies and killing them. Why would I decide to use an ultimate, and not even a normal spell, an ultimate that pretty much just frees me in place and makes me do a random minigame that completely breaks the flow of the game? Because, again, it's not like some random power-up that you do while running. Like, you guys can see that the survivor is literally locked into place. I don't know if it has like some sort of shield or invulnerability while it's doing that, but still, it completely breaks the flow of the game. So I really don't understand why the utility and the R are pretty much this. Like, it doesn't make sense. It literally do not make sense. Then we have this alternate ability, which is like random balls around you dealing damage. Which, it's better than what we've seen until now. Again, this punch doesn't make sense. This random seeking thing, okay, it's flying, but... Oh, new map, by the way. It's flying, but... Again... It really doesn't make sense. Like... His entire kit has started from medium range, with those punches as the start that we saw. That were really good. Spirit punch, I really like it. Then this random punch from the ground that doesn't really make sense. I think something like, I don't know, a wave moving forward, be it even in a line of punches that we saw in other games with other characters similar to that, would have made more sense. This thing, it's so weird. Like, it feels like it's an ability for someone that's like a healer or something opening an healing area, and instead it's just a random punch from the ground? Like, what? Really, the kit of this whole Survivor, I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all compared to the other Survivors that we have in the game. We'll see what other alternate abilities it has that weren't shown, because like we were only shown the Soul Spiral as an extra ability. I don't really know what is it related to. Let's just honestly hope that the next Survivor, because in theory there should be 2 with the DLC, the other Survivor, let's really hope that it's better, because this one really doesn't make sense. A Survivor that stops into place when you're playing a game and you want to go as fast as possible and jump and move and dodge really just seems dumb. Even adding the damn minigame in it. Like, the minigame is literally the worst part. Not only you have to stop in place, but you have to lose focus or break the flow or whatever you want to call it of the game to then stop and think of pressing the right buttons. And then you have to accelerate again and get into the gameplay style again of moving around, because that's what Risk or Brain is. I'm really extremely confused. If they had made this an aura, or like an explosion without the minigame and without the delay, maybe something like slows you down but increases the range and damage of the explosion. The more you hold it, the more it charges and then explodes, something like that. I think it would have been extremely better than this. This is just... ugh. So yeah, I'm not that happy about it. And honestly, this Soul Spiral, I'm now thinking... hopefully it's like an alternate skill and not an item. I don't know what it should be. It's not really clear. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's a real bummer, because the other 2 characters in the Survivors of the Void update were way better. This one is really not that great.